chair. I just was expecting this to be set in the past, and somehow it got more futuristic. I should have noticed because it's an urban redevelopment plan. Should have known. Nah, I'm just an idiot. I'm just an idiot. I was so dead set on just being the past, it just made more sense that way. But no, it's in the future. That explains it. Why all these events are being talked about. And Mega Evolution returning with newer Megas. Meaning these newer forms got discovered. I wonder if that young, and then Clement. That means he is in there. Alright. Well, now I know the time frame. That's alright. I'm just stupid. What are you? Oh, I was wondering where you were, Pikachu. You get a pay, even Pokemon come to see it sometimes. God damn, that is gorgeous. God dang it, Bob. Who's taking the shot? Oh, got a picture of my butt. So fucking stupid. That's a nice shot, though. I wonder if those could be used for looking at like profile things. That'd be cool. Another color screw. Wondering what was making noise. I was hearing chirp chirps. Fucking Pikachu. Seriously? Seriously, I can climb over. Oh, bye Pikachu. Well, the only way to get this is to jump from above. There's a way to go. I gotta figure that out. Unless they teach me in that later. That is true. Oh, that's rubbish. Fucking roll out. Grr. Oh no. Who am I? Where am I? What am I? Am I a Pokemon? Sorry guys, I have amnesia. Does that mean I'm stuck in a giant weird dude's castle and I have to hide around from weird monsters and get scared of things and... Do I have to take down some weird wizard guy thing person, whatever the fuck? Yeah, amnesia. That's me trying to reference that. Penumbra. Repeat ball. Look at that, all my friends. Friends playing. I see that. I see that. I wonder if are there Rotom upgrades? The hotter the flame sack in its belly, the faster it can fly, but it takes time to get the fire going. Ah, I see. Because of air. Because of the air. Heat causes steam. It just emits air. So funk. Wait. It uses abilities. It emits a special alpha waves that causes machines to malfunction. Alpha waves? Just leaves on its head with weary Pokemon. These leaves reduce fatigue. Do they now? How do you figure that out? So its tough head is full of nutrients. It provides us water. Ew. Cute. Tell you to roast berries before eating them. It likes to help people. Royal ladies carried a spritzy that would waft fragrance they liked. That's cool. I like that idea. Yeah, I already knew that though. There it be. Iron, alright. The guy just did tell me I can Rotom glide. There's gotta be ways to get these things. There's ways you can climb up more. There's like don't you dare. Show me one of my favorite Pokemon. That's why I got Pikachu and because Raichu's my favorite. Dragonite, Blastoise. A lot of them, of course, are Gen 1, but those are some of my favorites. I love Feraligatr and Typhlosion as well. Trying to test it. Trying to figure that out. Do you remember what moves you can rapidly use again, or do you beat it all in one big move even if it takes a long time to pull it off? I'm not really into all the buffing. Great balls of booty. Terragon might be a bit too into his scaffolding. Wow, what's wrong with that? Those cards you get in the ZA Royal are Hollow Tech, I hear. Oh yeah? Figure out there's a way over there. Evie, we're oh, never mind. I was like, Evie! But that's like another person's Eevee. I was right about to steal that poor girl's Eevee. Not that I've been able to. Oh yes, fuck. That's a wild Badoo though. Long as age like good cheese, but most age like bad cheese? I didn't know cheese aged well. I mean, I know milk does. And I know you have to hurt to get cheese and whatnot. Missed? What? It's alright, I guess. How are you doing? Rock smash! May make... Yeah, I think it's a bad thing to do a little change to defend yourself. Where you go? This is the Justice Jode. Oh god, no, not him. Fuck your fist of justice bullshit. No one's getting fisted. I was asking about Rock Smash and all that. Yes. I never said that they weren't in the game. They're just not HMs anymore. They're TMs. Modern games changed up your HMs and made it more... Pokemon has abilities to get you over the Sword and Shield. Scarlet and Violet had a ride mount that upgrades, that allows you to either surf on water, fly, stuff like that. Sun and Moon had ride mounts that did a lot of your actions. They changed it heavily. Ah, Duskstone? Hello. They've changed it significantly. And while it's still here, it's done differently. You don't have... They're not blocking a lot of important story. At least I don't think so far. It's a lot of just optional hidden shit. I don't know exactly what they'll use to block off anything important, but it's still not an HM. As in, it can be... You can teach over it. HMs needed to be removed by a move deleter. They long since replaced that. HMs are no longer a permanent thing. The game is amazing. You want to be fisted by her? Yeah, you can go right ahead. I like the game, it's amazing. They brought back Pokemon Walking with You from Heart Gold to Silver, which is the remakes of Gen 2 put into Gen 4, so I can have my Pokemon follow me. And do actions such as Thunder Wave that fucking Pidgey. And block. Also, the changes in battle. It's no longer turn-based. It's no longer turn-based. It's active now. So I can sit here and the Pokemon will still hit me, even though I didn't make a move. So it's kind of like how Final Fantasy active time is. And moves have a cooldown. So it's kind of becoming more active time and MMO-ish, kind of. This... I also made a mistake on what I thought this game took place in. Because Legends Arceus, a sequel in game... It's a sequel to Diamond and Pearl in terms of, like, it released later. But it's a prequel in terms of where it takes place. This game actually takes place in the future 5 or 6, maybe 10 years after the events of X and Y. The only reason why I was figuring that out is because a lot of characters, or at least one specific character who is in this game, should not have what he has, because he has a Pokemon that abandoned him when he tried to revive his dead Pokemon through use of bad means. He created a weapon that killed thousands of people. He became immortal, and his Pokemon ditched him. At the end of X and Y's events, you fight the guy, and his Pokemon comes back. In the game, the guy mentions he's 3,000 years old, and he has his Pokemon back. That is... No, Irving is not playing with me. He's asleep right now. He doesn't have a Switch yet. He doesn't have the Switch 2 yet. He passed out a while ago. No, this game takes place in the present timeline, which makes sense as to why things like Lumiose exists and why it's under redevelopment to allow Pokemon to live side by side with humans, which also explains why in the original X and Y there are no Pokemon living side by side with humans. And Lumiose... Hello? Oh my god, you scared the fuck out of me.
Sorry.
I wasn't expecting you to just come in and say hello right in my ear. Sorry, it's my fault. My audio for Discord's probably louder than it needs to be.
Hold on. What the hell's up with this? What's going on?
And you're also just got a louder voice than everyone else. Dabra. Fire leg.
You sound like you were going miles away.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know what to help you with.
That's why I left.
Well, I don't know how that would have fixed anything. I'm talking the same.
No, for some reason, something wrong. Try to back down on that. If now I can hear you.
Oh, well, I mean, I've been having on and off audio issues.
No, it is a windy day.
Well, not today. The other day, where my mic was making me sound all weirdly robotic. I had to disconnect, reconnect my mic. I don't know. The echo that I was experiencing the other day, where you can hear, yeah, that I had to reconnect and disconnect my mic and freaking restart my computer and all that. My OBS crashed on me twice earlier today, so my stream is only 9 hours. This stream is only 10 hours. Actually, no, I've been going at about 1 or 2 p.m. It'll be 24 hours.
Of non-stop stream?
Non-stop as in me sitting here, but there are breaks in between. I mean, I got up here and there. Yes, basically. I was on since I started this, since earlier till now. Yeah. My stream would be at least double what I'm currently at because my shit crashed twice. Sometime after you got off. Zero the alert. Where's your awake, Zero?
Oh, I'm surprised. Oh wait, no. They're 6 hours ahead of me.
What a mess.
So it'll be about 6, 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. Still surprised he's awake.
In that case, our fastest escape route will be out the back.
Okay, that's enough. How are you all so calm? I can't stand this one more second. Sharia,
I'm putting together
everyone thinks we should leave
the
Juniper.
greenhouse I got from the
Let's
birthday
fix the
yesterday.
boat, Sharia.
Mm.
This one is
No
just
way.
tight,
Sophie?
small little pipe that you just put together.
You are making things much
The other thing, I will not be able to put that together because I came with the bus. I had to get my brother to bring it down to the garage.
Mm.
Yeah, I got a lot weaker since
Well, you're
I'm off an hour.
what? Well, you were under surgery. Your arm can't be used as effectively. No shit, you're gonna be weaker. You're still stronger than me.
Well, I'm losing strength in my other arm.
I wouldn't know why.
Because I keep using my right arm for everything instead of the left, so I'm overexerting on the right arm.
Yeah, but if you can't use your other arm, then you have no point. You have no other way to not use your arm. That just doesn't make sense how that works.
If you pick something up that's 50 pounds and you use both your hands, you're only putting 25 pounds on each arm. Whereas when I pick up the 50 pounds, that's 50 pounds of
Yeah, I get
Great.
that, but you have no choice. You can't heal. Your arm's not gonna just heal, so it just doesn't make sense to me. That's just how I think. I'm not the brightest person in the world. I am not the brightest person in the world, but that is what makes sense to me. That's just how I think. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Quick question, how long did Johnny stay on after I left yesterday?
Like another hour or two? I don't know. He really barely talks.
I did warn him not to try and scare you or anything.
I,
And he's like, oh, should I do a jump scare on Brett? I'm
no,
like,
yeah, no.
don't do that. If you do that, I am not responsible for what he does.
If it's a really bad scare, I'll react badly. If it's a scare like you just did, I'll be like, whoa!
Like that I did not mean to scare you.
No, that's just my anxiety. Like, and right now, if I'm focusing, talking to you in a heavy conversation, playing the game, and I hear a at my door, that will get me. Just the act of ding, ding, tink, tink, and loud, because people like to knock on my door loud. Because when they try to contact me and I don't hear them, they'll come upstairs and go ding, ding, bing, bang. That scares the ever-living hell out of me more than anything.
I scared the shell of Megan Mercury one time. She was playing a game and she was really focused in it, so I used one of the jump scare.
Oh, the alerts. Yeah, they get me a lot. Mine aren't even jump scare related. Well, yeah,
Thing,
mm-hmm.
and I used a card and it scared the shell for where she backed away from her computer and everything.
Oh no, I've been scared like that where I'm literally gasping for air. Yeah, I've had
I
moments.
know how you are. I do not go that far.
Again, my anxiety is just annoying. I'll get freaked out by anything. Even if I was on medication, it might be a little better, but like, it's just because people have messed with me so much. I have reflex, dude. I had a friend who used to like fake punch like Chatterbox. He did that to me once when we were kids, and I popped him in the nose out of reflex and gave him a bloody nose with no effort. No effort meaning I didn't really put any strength into that punch. It was just a instinct. Yes, a reflex, because the dude was he's a friend. He wasn't actually going to hit me, but my body reacted, and I bopped him in the face. Gave him a bloody nose with little to no effort.
Okay, I didn't give my buddy a bloody nose, but when he went to fake punch at me, and I was already tense because my anxiety, you know, being at amusement park and shit.
Oh.
He went to go a punch at me, and I went and I wowed him right in the chest. He actually fell to the ground, gasping for air, and I didn't even like try or anything. It was just a quick reflex of ow.
Yeah. I mean, I
It's
get pissy. I've bitched at my mom for scaring me on accident.
Oh, I got a box of MRE or meal ready to eat.
Oh, yeah.
And well, what was it? Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. My mom had a whole box. My brother got a bunch of MREs, you know, for people to try. So my mom had most of that out. So I grabbed one Italian sausage with peppers and onions, and my one brother got some kind of beef patty, which I never get again because that was hot as shit for them.
Mm-hmm.
But all of them keep asking me how to do it. I'm like, just read the instructions. Open up the package, put a little bit of water in, then put your food pouch in, close it up, stick it in the sleeve, and wait 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
I had to tell my one brother not to sniff or stick the open end near your face. He's like, why? You didn't read the instructions. Says it gives out great hydrogen, which if you're sitting there breathing that in, you're gonna get oxygen deprived, and then you're gonna pass out.
Yeah, like
And then that's when I'm gonna get full Jigglypuff on your face. And he's like, what's that?
go watch Pokemon. You'll find out.
Uh-huh. I told my one buddy that. He's like, don't you dare.
If you want to know what if you want to know what getting Jigglypuffed or Goku means, do you know the scene in Dragon Ball where Goku bitch smacks Frieza? The same thing. There's a scene in Dragon Ball Z where he's literally just boom, 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 Frieza's face, similar to what Jigglypuff does. Yeah, I don't know why.
He was just showing off.
Yes, all it was is Goku was literally just pissed off. But it's because Goku was straight up pissed off. Like, his Krillin died. Like, Frieza, after that, Goku was just like, alright, motherfucker, I'm fucking with you now. And he just bitch smacked him. And then Frieza tried to do the Destructo Disc, and Goku fucked with him further and got himself cut in half. Because Goku blew through a blast, he teleported, and Frieza landed and got cut in half. So Goku's own fight, he didn't even have to fight. He didn't even have to fight Frieza. Like, by the time Goku turned Super Saiyan, Frieza was a little bit weaker, not much, so Frieza could still have pulled off a win if he was more careful and smart. But the fact that he was getting careless, and he was rushing out of time, and his power was fading because, I don't know if you know this, but Frieza, when he's 100%, where he's bulky, it actually drains his stamina. So Frieza, he knew this was happening, but he's prideful. So he doesn't want to believe that he was losing strength. So what he was, so yes, he was rushing himself to beat Goku, and in turn, what was happening is that Goku wasn't losing any power while Frieza's strength was slowly fading, and Goku was just playing with him after that. The whole fight with Super Saiyan, Frieza had no chance, because I can tell you right now, Goku's max power level at Super Saiyan is 1,000,005 something, I think. Frieza's at 3 or 2 something. He's not much weaker, and we all know Dragon Ball power levels are bullshit. So, like, Frieza could have won if he was careful, but he wasn't. Even after the Namek got hit, he, like, wasted all that 5 minutes trying to drain Goku when Goku was not losing power and Frieza was. But no, the moment he went Super Saiyan, Frieza was done, but that's because Frieza was getting careless.
Did he give Frieza a sensu beam?
No! Frieza, when he was cut in half, he gave him his energy to survive. And then that's when Frieza threw a blast at him last minute, and that's when Goku goes, "You fool!" No, he never gave. Frieza was the only one. He gave it to Vegeta, he gave it to Cell, he gave it to... not Boo. He gave it to Moro, which is a guy in the Super Manga. The Moro arc is basically just a rehash of the Cell games. If you read it and watch and read Cell, you'll see what I mean, because there's an android that is able to grab you and absorb your abilities. Moro literally ate this guy. He looked like a weird goat thing, but had a long-ass beard, and he looked old, because he was very old, thousands of years old. So when he absorbed this android, and his face changed to that handsome look that Cell has, and he literally was able to copy people's moves. You know what else he did? Once Goku beat him, gave him a sensu beam, he blew up and became part of the Earth, because what Moro actually is he's a mage. He's called Planet Eater Moro. He's able to absorb your energy out of you with just his
Number 20, 21 or something, right?
Yeah, 19, the fat one, can absorb energy by touching you. But Moro, because he absorbed an android that does the same thing, he can literally just touch you and grab your power out of you. And he had the ability to absorb energy magic naturally as himself. So he was literally absorbing energy from planets and killing it off that way. Hence the name Planet Eater Moro. So and then after that he became Cell. Like he aged backwards. He got younger. And he got the handsome look. His beard disappeared. And then Goku beat the shit out of him. The dude got careless. Goku gave him a sensu beam. The dude got pissed. Became one with the actual planet, unlike Cell. So if Moro was hit, he would have blown up Earth. Unlike, you know how like with Cell, he said, if you touch me, I'm going to blow up. Well, Moro was actually the planet, meaning regardless of what would happen, they would have been fucked. Your boy came out and went to Yardrat, learned instant transmission, teleported back, and he learned a new ability that Goku was not smart enough to learn, which is Spirit Fission. Vegeta was able to punch the energy out of Moro. thus saving that entire arc. If it wasn't for that, they'd be dead. And then he decides to give him a sensu bean shortly before that, and it's just like, dude, you're literally just rehashing Cell. Stop. Best arc. That's my favorite arc, and it ended poorly. Like Goku Black's arc 2 is really good, but it ended poorly. Well, the main villain in Goku Black arc is immortal. Zamasu. Because Zamasu in Goku Black is basically just the god, a Kai, who stole Goku's body. But because of that, he's... Because Kais are naturally immortal by lifespan, they live thousands and thousands and thousands of years. They don't die like that.
Isn't a power based by someone, though? If you kill someone, which is pretty
Yes,
easy to kill them.
Supreme Kai. If you kill the Supreme Kai, Beerus will go with. Okay, the Supreme Kais are known as the god. Here's the thing: Beerus is a god of destruction. The Supreme Kai is a god of creation. You kill the gods of creation, and the gods of destruction go bye-bye. And that means the angels, aka Whis, go catatonic and just lay there. So the moment they lose their gods, the angels go just lay there limp, basically. I don't know why, until the next god of destruction airs. I don't know why. They made the fucking angels, that's what Whis is, that's his race. Angel, not like the angel, like god angel. Literally, that's what they are. That is their race, but it's also like a job. But like, yeah, if there's no god of destruction for them to rule, they just lay there like they're lifeless, which is a really weird concept. But yeah, no, the gods, yeah, if you kill the stupid Supreme Kai that everyone hates, Shin, Beerus would die with him. Which is why he is so very, very afraid of him being around. Also, the Elder Kai, the older one that gave Gohan his ultimate form, who was sealed inside the sword that Gohan broke, Beerus was tied to him before the Supreme Kai, the younger one. So he sealed the Elder Kai in the Z-Sword, and he came out years later, sometime after the Supreme Kai took over, which is why now he's tied to the Supreme Kai and not the Elder one. Ugh. Yes. So, because Beerus had I think it was a match of rock, paper, scissors or something, and he got pissed, and he lost and got pissed. So he sealed the dude in the Z-Sword. Yes, this is all in Akira Toriyama's interviews. These are not stuff they will mention in the show. They have, actually, though. They later mentioned it in the show. That, in the manga, too, that the Elder Kai mentions that he was the one sealed by Beerus. However, in the original show and manga, he was stated that he was sealed away by someone powerful. Not as strong as Boo, but powerful or evil. Beerus is way stronger than Boo. So they retcon that.
Here's a question now. That time thing that they try to stick Boo in, and then it would be forever sealed in there.
Yeah, the time chamber, hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah. Where did they put Beerus in there and then destroyed it from the outside? Would Beerus be forever stuck in there, or would he be able to get out?
Unless Beerus can pull a fucking dimension break. I think Beerus is strong. Beerus and Goku had their fights were destroying the fabric of reality. I think with enough effort, Beerus can crack out of that, no problem. Because here's the fun fact. In Super... No, here's a fun fact. In Super, Vegeta blew up the hyperbolic time chamber from the inside, and you see him fine. And Popo literally threatens him not to blow it up, and guess who did it again? Vegeta blew up the hyperbolic time chamber twice. So yes, Beerus could have and Vegeta's a god. At this time, Vegeta's blue at this time. So Beerus, yes, he can blow it up. Because, like, the only characters that were able to break out of that originally was Boo. And then Gotenks as Gotenks. SS3 Gotenks. Not them separate, not them SS1 or 2. They watched Boo do this, and they were able to recreate that that scream to break fabric of reality. Beerus can do that with a flick of his finger. If Vegeta can blow up the hyperbolic time chamber from within the entirety and survive, and somehow enter back into normal reality, which is a freaking year of a gap, because every day in the real world outside is a year in the hyperbolic time chamber. Then in the manga, for the end of the Super arc, the current arc they were on, which is the Granola arc, Frieza Frieza comes back with a new form, black, and you learn, because during that arc they make a wish to make the characters the strongest in the galaxy throughout a wish. Now Frieza decides to tell you that he wasn't affected by this because he spent 10 days, or aka 10 years, in a chamber equivalent to the hyperbolic time chamber on a different planet, which is why he comes out of nowhere in a new form and stronger than the villains who made a wish to become the strongest, which is really weird. Yeah, so yeah, no, the hyperbolic time chamber is easily broken now by anyone who's got god tier abilities. Goku and Vegeta can destroy the galaxy with a
become like a god or anything, or what happens to him after?
Superhero, the newest superhero movie. He makes a wish on Shenron to give him the equivalent of what Guru was doing, the Elder Namek, who would unseal your abilities. He did it to Gohan and Krillin and Dende. He gave Dende the power to heal. Don't fuck with the white mage. Yeah, he basically asked Shenron to give him that power up. So instead of saying, "Hey Shenron, make me stronger" directly, he's like, "Can I get the equivalent of a power up that Guru would have given to other characters?" So he basically just got his power unleashed, or his potential unleashed, but through a wish instead. And that's what creates the green light, because he has two stages. He goes from his normal dark green to a lighter green, and then he goes from that to orange. Because Shenron was like, "I gave you a little, here's your power that you wish for, but I gave you a little extra." So his official unlocked potential is a slightly lighter green, and then he goes orange, which is the extra power Shenron gave him out of his own nice kindness. Because, well, Piccolo and Shenron are tied to each other. If Piccolo dies, yes, Shenron dies, correct. And Piccolo is the one that created him, even though technically it was Kami, but Piccolo is Kami, so yes, Piccolo is the creator of Shenron, which is why he gave Piccolo that extra power-up, and he goes orange, yes. Which is the equivalent of Super Saiyan God. Not blue, God.
Now for the for Gohan, does he still have Piccolo's symbol on his shirt or no?
I don't. In Superhero, he wore Piccolo's entire outfit, the purple pants and all that. So yeah, he still trains under him. I don't know if he has that demon symbol on him, but he does wear his outfit in the Superhero movie, and he finishes off Cell Max with the special beam cannon. So Gohan is still very under Piccolo's tutelage. And Piccolo's near death at the hands of Cell Max. Not his daughter! No! Because for some reason, Piccolo had to involve Pan just to get Gohan out of his damn house. Because that's all Gohan was studying, was like insects and shit. And he literally had to kidnap his daughter to get him out the house, and then Cell Max nearly killed Piccolo, which is what caused Gohan to snap and go Beast. Yes, Gohan Beast. Or Blanco, as they call it.
Now, does anybody get their monkey power back, or is that wrong?
I mean, SS4 has been introduced in Daima, but they didn't transform into an ape. That's the only time Goku's tail returned. Canonically. So, no. As of right now, unless they continue Daima in some way and continue that Super Saiyan 4 and 3 are now canon, no, they haven't. Because SS4 and Daima, Goku did get his tail back. But he didn't transform into an actual ape. He was just Super Saiyan 4, which is, red. So, right...
I got the picture in my head now.
Yeah, but that's tied to Daima. Because that's not in Super. As of right now, Daima is continuation, but it could be considered as like an alternate universe in some way. A lot of Dragon Ball Z already has like 4 timelines. They got the main timeline, then they got the Future Trunks timeline, then they got a timeline where, Future Trunks got killed by Cell, which is the very same timeline that our Cell came from. Because the present day Trunks is a kid. He's an adult now, or a teen now. The timeline our Cell came from is a different time where he kills Trunks after they defeated the androids somehow and still is weaker than first stage Cell. I don't get how that makes sense. And then he goes back in time, and that's the Cell we know. Because the Cell in the present day gets blown up in the lab. And then the Cell from Trunks' time, our Trunks, not that Trunks that he got killed, Our Trunks goes back to his time, kills Perfect Cell along with the android, or Imperfect Cell, first stage Cell, and then the android. And then the Cell that was killed by Gohan killed a Trunks in his timeline and came back. That's why there's 3 cells, technically speaking. So there's like 4 main timelines in Dragon Ball Z. And Dragon Ball. So people consider Super and Daima to be separate continuities. Same with GT. Like, people want to consider GT and stuff canon. They all consider it separate continuities. Because the only shows to me that connect fully is Dragon Ball to Daima. But if you want to consider it a separate continuity, that's up to you.
So that's a different universe then?
Daima, nothing really. It's just Akira Toriyama wanted to go back to the old days of Dragon Ball, so that he made Daima a more adventurous by making Goku and everybody a kid again, to go back to the old ways of Dragon Ball, where it's more comedic, more adventure, more fun. The combats aren't as serious. It's not all about powers, even though Goku goes SS4 and Vegeta goes 3, but it's not as about, it's more about like techniques, because Goku is the way they fight. The way Goku was fighting in that was more with like a power pole again. He was using his, it was more strategic to a degree, but with that, Daima's just a nice nod to Dragon Ball. A lot of people like to say it's GT, but it's not, because Akira full-on wrote this, and Akira is more of a comedy gag writer. Hence, go look at Dr. Slump. Go look at Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is a comedic show. The dude literally sent a rabbit to the moon. Goku can't survive in space now, canonically. But yet, in Dragon Ball, he's canonically sent a rabbit to the moon. Dragon Ball was never meant to be serious. It was made serious towards the end. If you go and watch Dragon Ball all the way up until he fights Piccolo, that's when it gets much more serious. Yes, the Red Ribbon Army is serious, but it's still goofy. But Piccolo changes the tone entirely. And then after that, he faces Junior. Piccolo. Our Piccolo. And then after that, that's when Gohan comes into play, and eventually the show becomes the martial arts show that we know it is today. Because Dragon Ball was never that serious. That's why, and Daima, and yes, and he's grabbing Bulma's crotch, talking about how he laid on his grandpa's balls and dick, and how the pat no balls thing. Like, all that is comedy. Like Krillin flashing Bulma left and right just so Roshi can bleed on a dude who's invisible for Yamcha to fight. Yeah, it's all gags. Like, the main threat for a while was Pilaf. The weird blue guy that had the 2 henchmen. That was like the biggest threat until the Red Ribbon Army came into the picture. And even then, Dragon Ball's biggest threat was Piccolo. And
when did Piccolo show up in Dragon Ball?
King Piccolo. Towards the end. King Piccolo was trapped in a rice cooker for very many years. Meaning, like, back when Roshi was young. Back when Roshi was young and still training under his master. His master created the evil containment wave and killed himself because it's a move that drains your energy. And he sealed King Piccolo into a rice cooker permanently for some time. Pilaf somehow found him, sealed him, released him, made a mistake because then he took over. And then Goku fought him as a kid. And then he regurgitated an egg out of his mouth to reincarnate. Hence Piccolo Jr. And then at this point in time in Dragon Ball, Piccolo was not known as Piccolo. He was known as Junior. Just to differentiate, because King Piccolo was his name. His father's name. Self-proclaimed. But then you later learn through Daima, because you go to the Demon Realm, that the Namex actually came from the demonic realm, hence why King Piccolo's name is Demon King Piccolo, even though he was never the Demon King in the Demon Realm. That's Dabura. Dabura's the devil that served under Babidi, that was eaten by Boo. He was the Demon King. Now, before him was his father, Abra. Yes. Huh?
That's the red dude, right?
Yes, the red devil. That's Dabura. Or, if you can't already tell, the final arc is all about literally bibbidi bobbidi boo. It's magic. They had an entire issue with Cinderella. The whole thing from Cinderella, they had an entire spat because the bibbidi bobbidi boo and all that. And then, well, if you also look at it, Dabura's name, it's combined their name, because Dabura has you actually learn Dabura's father in Daima, and his name is Abara. Abra Ku-Dabara. Now, his name is Deborah or Dabara. The Ku part comes in because they introduce new Majins, like Boo, Ku, and Du. Yes, you got Boo, Ku, and Du. So you combine all their names. You got Abara, Ku, Dabara, and then you got Majin Buu, you got Bibbidi and Bobbidi. Yes, it's all magic.
Damn, that's weird.
Yes, it is. So they had an entire... At some point... Huh?
Did you figure this all out yourself?
Eventually, yes. I've read a lot of interviews over time, and just put pieces together. I know Akira and Toei has had a lot of fights with other companies because, like, with the fight with Disney and Cinderella or whoever because of the bibbidi bobbidi nonsense. And then there's a lot of interviews that Akira talks about certain things that is not mentioned. Like, he mentioned that Boo was never created, that he existed since time immemorial, but then in Daima, you get introduced to a character who did make Boo, and it's just like, are you going back on yourself now, Akira? He also gave history on Hercule, Satan. His real name is Mark. Okay? And there was an incident back when he was training under whatever master he had. He was at a restaurant called Satan, something to do with Satan. And he started shit. His mentor and whoever else got killed. And Hercule nearly died. And he vowed to never fight again. Hence the, oh, my stomach nonsense he pulls. He's one of the... See, here's the thing. Before Akira Toriyama, I think, came up with that. I'm not sure if he changed that later. He based him on one of those... He based... You know those shitty wrestlers that talk shit? That's what Hercule is. He's one of those shitty-ass martial artists or wrestlers that actually aren't strong. Because I'm going to tell you outright. Hercule thinks he's the strongest. No, his daughter. Before, Videl was stronger than him. And I'm not talking about because she can learn to fly. That she barely knows how to key control. She can only fly, and barely. Because she can't fly like with Gohan and them. When she tried to fly with Gohan and them, went to go to Boo, she was struggling because of the wind. But Hercule, in terms of physical strength, his daughter was stronger than him already. So Hercule has never been the strongest. He's just straight pathetic. So yeah, Akira Toriyama came up with his whole full backstory. Because of that incident, he changed his name to Satan because of the restaurant he got nearly killed at by some random dude that he started drama with. And that got his master and whatever else killed. So he vowed to never fight again. And hence the stomachache. But yet he's still pulling drama.
I always thought it was weird that they called Mr. Satan. And I like how Goku gave him money and be like, here, you save the world, have fun.
Yes, I love how they also they also censored it by calling him Hercule. Because in the official normal releases, you'll get Satan, Satan. Yes, they're chanting Satan. So that's why they changed it to Hercule. But Videl has not been changed. Videl's name is literally just the word devil. Videl. Her name is just
like Cruella de Vil.
Yes, her name is literally devil, just changed up, rearranged. Their whole... And then Pan. Pan has nothing to do with that. Pan is probably just because of the Chi-Chi naming convention. Or wherever that fuck name came from.
No idea.
Yeah, well, because
We'll kick your ass.
Because everyone but Chi-Chi's all... Goku, Gohan, Goten, they're all Go's except for Pan. But that's because Pan is Gohan's child, not Goku's. But still, it's just like... I don't know where Pan came from. I don't know if Pan is like a mix of Gohan and like Videl, because it's not. I don't even know what her name is based on. Like, most names are puns. Like Goku is carrot. Kakarot. Fucking Vegeta is literally half the word vegetable. Then you got Tarble, which is the other half of it. You got characters like the Ginyu Force, which are dairy products. You got Frieza, who is literally just Freezer. Freezer. You got Piccolo, which is an instrument, actually. Piccolo's family line are all instruments. You got Piccolo, you got... Back when he was King Piccolo, he used to spat out eggs and create reincarnations. He had Piccolo, tambourine, piano, stuff like that. They were all instruments. And then you got... Piccolo is an instrument. The Piccolo. The actual Piccolo. Goku, Vegeta, the Saiyans, they're all named after. Piccolo himself is an instrument. Kami means God. Piccolo, and then in Dragon Ball, King Piccolo spat out several incarnations, and they were all named after instruments. You had piano, you had drum, you had tambourine, you had Piccolo himself. The Saiyans are all named after vegetables, like Gohan is rice, stuff like that. And you got Kakarot, you got Vegeta.
Raditz.
Yeah, you got Radish, Nappa,
Oh, Nap.
Turles, which I don't know what Turles is. He's a movie character, not really canon at all. Frieza, Cold, they're all just like ice boxes. You even got Frost, which is Universe 6 is Frieza. They're all named after ice boxes, or like puns on ice. Let's see, Cell, literally because he's created from the cells of multiple people. Lapis and Lazuli, aka 17 and 18's real name. Yes, a blue stone. A blue gemstone. They're named after a blue gemstone. Yeah, Videl and Hercule, named after the devil. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, magic. You got Deborah. You got Abra Kudabra.
The crystal ball. That is.
Baba. Oh, Baba. You mean Baba?
Sister?
Baba is Roshi's sister. The lady with the crystal ball, that's Baba. That's Roshi's older sister. Yes, older. Roshi is over 300 years old. She's older than he is. I don't know by how much and how. Well, no, Roshi admitted he took a life-sustaining potion, and he has to continuously take it, which is why Roshi's still alive. He's immortal in the sense of a lifespan, but not in actual, like, he can be killed, but he can't die of old age. He's immortal in terms of a lifespan, just not being murdered. Kind of like how kind of like how the Kais, they can't die of a normal, they have a lifespan, but they live thousands and thousands of years. Roshi, I don't know if he actually has a lifespan or if it's just extended, but he's been around for over 300 years. And Baba's older.
Maya Wave. And he took off his neck and he, like...
It took him 3 years. It took him 3 years to master that. Yeah. And then and then when Goku trained under Master Korin the cat, he mentions it took Roshi 3 years to catch him, and Goku caught him in like a day or two, or whatever it was.
Cat?
The cat, yeah, because Roshi trained under Korin too, back when he was younger. I don't know exactly what, but Korin basically teaches you, like, when he taught Goku, he was basically having Goku climb up and down that long pole to up his, like, stamina and endurance and speed, and it really did help him. Goku didn't realize a lot of his training is just endurance training, not actual fighting. So what Korin was doing, he was having Goku boost his speed by having him train, catching him, trying to, whatever, and then yada yada. He had him drink this weird fucking water later on, because he fought Piccolo and lost, and then he drinks this water, which gives him a power boost, which is like the first plot device they ever used. And then he comes back and just beats the shit out of Piccolo. Not really, Goku almost lost too. It wasn't for a last-ditch effort where he fucking penetrates through his chest. And Goku would have lost that fight if Piccolo didn't get careless. There's many, I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of plot devices, but...
Fast. I'm still confused on how they had trouble trying to last cat.
The cat, everyone's stronger than Goku when they first train him. The cat was... Korin himself has got like some instincts to where he was trying to teach Goku to not rely on thinking, rely on just using, trying to use your energy to follow me kind of thing. He was teaching Goku how to keep up with him, not using, his own effort. He was trying to have Goku train and learn using energy and all these other... This is around the time when Goku actually learned to sense. Because shortly after his training with Korin, he learned how to sense ki. He was basically teaching Goku how to use that to catch him versus his eyes. The whole training was catch me if you can, but don't use your eyes. Sense me. And that's what Goku learned during that. And shortly after that, he was able to sense where Piccolo was. That is when Goku learned to sense power level. At the end of the fight with Piccolo Jr., aka Piccolo, he learned how to fly. Because during that fight, he did not know how to fly. At the end of the manga, right at the end of that manga, Roshi states that this is where Goku learned to fly. Because he actually, if you pay attention, a lot of his flights are more him being pushed with an attack. Because he literally used he used the Kamehameha wave out of his feet to pummel Piccolo to the face. Probably one of the best variants he's ever used the Kamehameha wave with. Because Goku couldn't fly, he was just trying to be ingenious. Yeah, no.
I love that.
Yes, Dragon Ball was unique. Like, Dragon Ball Z was all just who's stronger, who's bigger, who the fuck, whatever, ever, who has the bigger balls. Dragon Ball was who was smarter, who didn't fuck up. Piccolo wasn't stronger than Goku. They were very close in power. In fact, in the beginning, in Dragon Ball Z, when they fought Raditz, Goku was only like 10 or 20 power levels above. Goku with his weights removed and Piccolo with his weights removed is 330 and 320. Raditz was 1200. With Goku's Kamehameha wave, I can tell you, because I love Dragon Ball so much, I can tell you this. I've watched the show so much. Goku Kamehameha wave only brought him up to about 900, which is why Raditz was able to block it. Piccolo's Special Beam Cannon brought him well over 1200, which is why he penetrated him. Piccolo was the only one that could have beaten Raditz. Goku was not strong enough. Which is why he was getting brutally beaten by Vegeta. Because even if he was careless against Nappa, he could have gotten hurt pretty badly or lost his friends. He had to go Kaioken just to stop Nappa. But Nappa only had a 4,000 power level. Goku's base was 5,000. He still was stronger than Nappa, but he needed to boost his speed to catch up to him because Nappa shot out a blast that would have killed Gohan. Yep. That's when Dragon Ball basically hit the mainstream after that. It became a typical shonen, which is a young boy anime that's all about fucking power and hype, like Naruto and One Piece are. Well, shonen is, manga has like, manga has like a magazine that gets promoted with, and that's Shonen Jump. Shonen Jump is a manga magazine that promotes that kind of manga, and shonen is just popular Japanese anime for males, like Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, Naruto, One Piece. Those are all shonen anime because they're geared for young boys, and they're the most popular series and hyped up. Then you got stuff like Inuyasha, which is that but for girls. A lot of people consider Inuyasha like GBZ for women because it's produced in a similar magazine, but it's called Shonen Sunday. So it's more aimed at younger girls. Hence Inuyasha's more lovey-dovey story. It's not a romance. It's a mix between romance, but it's not heavily romance because she can't really write romance. She's a comedy gag writer with Ranma 1/2. There's a show called Ranma 1/2. Yeah, she created Ranma 1/2. So she's also a comedy gag writer because Ranma 1/2 is literally about a dude who turns into a girl by going into a pond where a girl died in. That's the premise. Literally. Yeah, okay, the reason why he goes into the water and comes out as a girl, and there's a guy that he fights that comes out as a panda, is because apparently there's people that died in that, and they become that. So so the one he falls into that turns him into a girl, apparently a girl drowned in that river, and then there's one where a guy becomes a panda. Yeah, I've never actually watched Ranma. I've only heard about it and read about it a bit, where it's really interesting, but it's also weird. Just the concept was like, oh no, there's a river or a pond or something where this person died. Now I've become them? Basically. Yeah, I know, it's weird. It's anime. But that's not the same. Like, Inuyasha's similar, but it's not a shonen manga overhyped for younger boys. And a lot of people compare it to DBZ, but for girls. It's got energy attacks. It's got a lovey-dovey story. Yeah. I mean, it's not that. It's not bad. It's not. It's not fully romance. It's action, adventure, more than anything. It just has bits of it, bits of romance. Few kiss scenes. Kagome and Inuyasha do marry or make it. Sango and Moroku do hitch. They all have kids, but that's about the
So they
extent.
make it for women as well.
Yes, they do have kids. Inuyasha and Kagome have a kid. Moroku and Sango have a kid, and stuff like that. But it's not. They don't really show you their time together, like their lovey-dub-dub. The most you get romantic-wise is Moroku does propose to Sango at the end by asking if she'll bear his children. That's just literally how he does it. But he does that to every girl he ever meets. However, when he finally proposed to Sango, it was different. You could tell that there was a lot more passion in the air, and it was a big, heated moment for her, and he comforted her, and he asked her to marry her, the equivalent of how he asked, which is basically having a kid. That's the extent of the romance. Like, Inuyasha and Kagome, they don't really get hitched by saying, hey, will you stay with me? They just, like, at the end of the actual series, Kagome's dressed like Kikyo, and they're together. That's it. There's really, the romance isn't heavily in your face. It's more like, there is a couple kiss scenes with Inuyasha and Kikyo and Kagome. That's about it. It's not...
Yeah, I think I know what I'm gonna do. When I'm gonna propose to a woman,
Will you bear my
I'll be
children?
like, I wanna bear kids with you.
That's literally what he said to her. Sango, will you bear my children? And he said it in a different tone. It was a serious, because normally he goes up to the girl, rubs their ass, and he says like, will you bear my child? And because it's in a different time period back then, he's asking a lot of girls that are technically underage, because it's different back then. There was no morals, no rules, no whatever. It was all the feudal era. So, and people didn't live that long, so it makes sense for younger kids and younger teens to get married sooner. Kind of like how back then in in the real world they did that. But now that it's become illegal and well, whatever, and now our life expectancy is longer, yeah, they don't need to do that. But with Inuyasha, they live in a time period where, you know, they could die at any moment from illness to demons. So characters were getting married sooner. There's a lot of younger girls in that show that would have the equivalent of like a forced marriage kind of thing, where it's like the parents forced people to marry into a family for royalty or money, or it's that kind of era. So like fucking Shishomaru hooks up with Rin, who is literally a fucking like 9-year-old girl, and they have a kid. And Shishomaru is a several thousand-year-old demon. Or several hundred.
We're not bothering Reaper, are we?
Not that I'm aware of. He probably muted. He said he went to go lay down, so I'm assuming he's not anywhere near the audio. And he may have it, like, toned down so he can sleep. I know he uses background noise to sleep, but I don't think he can... Knowing how Irving sleeps, he snores louder than I talk. Let's just say that.
Oh, you know what? Nope, I remember that. Because we're like, Reaper, wake up! And we're all yelling at him, wake up! I remember that.
Because, dude, when I used to live back home and he slept over, I'd wake up to him in my chair, what I'm currently sitting in. Not this chair, but a different gaming chair. And all you hear is... Not as annoying as my parents. My parents snore loud enough to where I can hear it through the wall.
That's my dad.
Yep.
So that's why
No.
I run the AC throughout the year.
Yes, you currently, like, if my dad was still alive, you would be able to hear clear as day. Irving's low too.
Whatever sound you're making, I cannot hear. It's not picking up by...
It's a fake snore sound. Unfortunately, it's causing mucus to build up in my nose. Sorry. It's the
Yeah, I know what you mean.
the snoring. That's what Irving's snoring sounds like. It sounds like he's gargling mucus. Because there's times where he'll wake up coughing. You know, well, it's because he's. It's not, I don't know if he has like sleep apnea or something, but yeah, he's got some pretty bad breathing. It sounds like.
It could be just the way he like fell asleep too. I mean,
He's a bigger. He's. Here's the thing. He's a bigger guy, but he's smaller than me. And due to Irving's health, he's gotten bigger. Because Irving had 2 strokes. Well, Irving's had a couple he's had heart attacks. He's had a couple heart attacks since before I left. And it almost when I was first told about it, a friend of mine called me and was like, "Oh, by the way, Irving's in the hospital for the." I'm like, "You're telling me this now?" This was years ago, many years ago. But yeah, some guy me and Irving went to school with was like, "Yeah, you know, he's in the hospital for this," and I nearly dropped down my staircase. I was like right at the foot of my stairs. I dropped to my knees and I was right about to cry.
Before anybody continues talking, I have to go in. I have doctor's appointment right now, so I will be back on when I get done my doctor's appointment.
All right.
Okay, Dragon.
And Mercer, hello.
See you soon.
Brett, are you talking about the phone call you got that Irving has a heart attack?
Yes, yeah, we were talking about Irving sleeping and his loud, obnoxious snoring, and then it led into his snoring being obnoxious because he might have issues with sleep apnea, or he's a short guy who's chubby, very, very chubby. And he's gotten chubbier because of his health issue. But yes, you would literally hear him snoring, and then he'd wake up coughing. Because his snoring, it's just literally... It sounds like he's gargling vomit, like snot and shit. So he'll wake up coughing. It's just like, dude. But no, yeah, we were talking about that. And we were talking about Dragon Ball before that. Dragon Ball's naming schemes, similarities in each arcs, Piccolo's family being instruments, you know, the Saiyans being vegetables, Frieza being icebox, that shit. And then we led into Irving, because he was asking if we're going to bother Irving while he's asleep. I said, no, Irving's most likely away from that in his bed, is the last thing he told me, and I guarantee you he's got it lower, or he snores well louder than I can talk. Irving can sleep pretty heavily if he gets into a deep sleep.
Irving's sleeping right now, even though he's on the call.
Yes, he told me he went to go lay down, to go and relax, and that's his way of saying he's gonna pass out. And he hasn't returned. It's been a little bit. And he's been on since the whole... He's pretty much been on with me pretty much almost the whole time. Not the whole time, but mostly. And I've been on...
Are you still streaming
yes,
from when I went to bed last night?
Yes. The only thing is my stream crashed twice, which is why my time is only like 11 hours. I've been streaming for almost a full day.
That must have really pissed you off.
No, nothing pissed me. It got me upset because it was just a random crash out of nowhere. I had to restart my computer. It crashed twice. It upset me just because I was in the midst of whatever I was in the midst of, and then I just was like, oh, boom, done, crash. OBS just popped up and
how's Arceus going for you?
Well, I'm not... Arceus is good. I'm on the sequel now. Legends ZA. Fantastic. Arceus is
the new one that came out.
Yes, Legends Zygarde as. Yes, fantastic.
Did they introduce new Pokemon in that one, or is it the same ones from Arceus?
Same Pokemon from Arceus. It's the same Pokemons from Gen 1 to 4, and then they have some Gen 5 and some Gen 6. Because this is Generation 6. This is X and Y, so there's up to Gen 6. I'm not sure if there's Gen 7 and 8 in here. But so far, you got 1s through 6.
So is that one further back in time than Arceus?
No, actually, no. Well, no. Here's the thing. Arceus is in the past. I thought X and Y was gonna... Here's the thing. X and Y has a 1,000-year prior war that happened 1,000 years prior in the past. And the reason why I thought this was taking place in the past is because they have a character who's 3,000-something years old who created this weapon and killed a bunch of people to revive a Pokemon he had. That Pokemon saw that he was an asshole and left him. Then you fight the guy at the end of the game in the modern era, and then his Pokemon comes back after he learns. This guy is in this game, literally talks about how he's 3,000 years old. No, this game is currently in the present time. It's set like 10 years after the events of X and Y. There's a character called Leon in Scarlet and Violet who's a champion, and there's a character in this game that mentions that he was beaten. This game is currently in the present, not the past like I thought it was. No, this is the present. So this takes place after. And another tidbit is the guy that is 3,000 years old. He would not have his Pokemon if this was in the past because he would have lost it. That right there also should tell you, no, that's the present day. Not only that, Lumiose is bigger than what you have in X and Y, and they are doing an urban redevelopment to make people able to live side by side with Pokemon, which in the original X and Y was not a thing. And I'm in literally one part of Kalos, which is Lumiose City, which is the Electric Gym, which is like not even halfway into the game. I'm literally in the town of the one gym, and that's it. There's no other locales. This town is somehow bigger than all of the rest of X and Y was. So no, this is present day. Explaining why there's modern technology, and stuff like that. Yeah, I thought it was in the past, but it's not. It is not. It's like 10... It takes place 5 years after the events of X and Y in the modern-day city of Lumiose. Give or take. So this takes place after Sword and Shield. Sometime. I don't know if it takes place before or after Scarlet and Violet, but there's a character called Leon in Sword and Shield who's the champion or gym leader or the Elite Four champion of that game, and there's mention he was dethroned or beat, which would mean that this game is present. I was starting to sit, if you were actually here the whole time, you would have heard me and Irving talking about it and how I was trying to figure and piece it together and it wasn't making sense. And I was starting to think, well, this can't be the past then. It's the present. Hence all the technology advancements, the guy as having his Pokemon and still being around. Yeah, it's present day. I just don't know where the characters for X and Y are. It'd be interesting to meet them. Same with the Professor. I wonder if he's in this. And that would also explain the villain team, because one of the chicks who's giving me, like, these missions... There's these missions in-game that'll have me, like, tell me to capture this many fire types, this many water types, this many this many that, collect this, or evolve this many. There's, like, research things, and it boosts my level, and after a certain point, I get certain items from it. So that's basically what I'm doing. But this person who's doing that is part of the villain team, which is, in this game, it's called Team Flare, which wouldn't have been made if this was in the past. So no, this is present day. Yep. When I saw a lot of that, all this stuff was not adding up, and I was like, this can't be right. There's also megas that weren't introduced in X and Y at the time. There's more megas that are new, which means they are just now figuring out more and more mega forms and stuff like that. Proving, again, that it's present day. Really weird. Yeah. I thought it was set in the past. Just because Legends Arceus is totally set in the past. Because Arceus is the god of Pokemon, and the town, or the land of Sinnoh, which is what Diamond and Pearl's region is called, but in Legends Arceus, it went by a different name, Hisui. People in this game literally have mentioned that there was a region that they forgot the name of. They're referencing Legends Arceus. So yeah, if that's already happened, and Legends Arceus' original name was Sinnoh's original name was Hisui, and people keep talking about how it was forgotten. That's because it happened several hundred thousands or whatever hundreds of years prior, and now it's name changed to Sinnoh. So yeah, that also is many tips
But
on
in Arceus, all the Pokeballs are made out of wood.
Mm-hmm. Apricots. Most Pokeballs are still made out of apricots, but there's also metal and clasps. Like even in Arceus, you have to get like metal clasps to make the ball close. The button that's on the Pokeball, it's still made with metal, but most of the balls are made of apricot, like the tree seeds or whatever the fuck apricots are. And then like Voltorb, for instance, since the Pokeballs were designed after Voltorb, hence why they look red and white and futuristic. In Arceus, Voltorb is literally looks like he's made of wood. I don't know why. And then the modern day Voltorb is, the red and white ball that we all know. That's why in some of the games you can pick up Pokeballs and they turn out to be Voltorb. So people design the Pokeballs off of Voltorb for some reason. That's why they go...
Isn't there a Pokemon game where you go to the Pokeball factory and Voltorb inhabits it?
Yes, there is a factory. It's in X and Y, I think. It's not a very big spot. It's not a very big predominance in the story, but I believe X and Y had a Pokeball factory. Yes, it does. I haven't played X and Y in so long, but my memory is sort of failing me and not failing me at the same time. Yes, X and Y has a Pokeball factory where they mass produce, but it's not really a big predominance. You go there for a little bit and I forget what, but it's not really a lot. It has barely any story significance. In fact, X and Y just kind of doesn't really tell you a lot. They introduce a character who's over 3,000 years old, created this gigantic weapon that killed off a bunch of human beings just so he can revive a Pokemon that died in a war This Pokemon saw his actions and left him. At the present and during the end of X and Y's events, which is before this game, you face this dude, and then he learns his errors of his ways. His Pokemon comes back. The character is in this game, looks the same with his Pokemon. Therefore, yeah, it can't be the past. Also, all the technology advancements in this compared to X and Y, like this menu is all off a phone, like in-game phone. You use a Pokemon called a Rotom who inhabits an electronic device, and this was in Oris too, like the Rotom nonsense was your Pokedex. It's a Pokemon that became your Pokedex. Well, it's back in this. If that was the past, wouldn't exist. Because the thing you look at in Arceus is a created phone by Arceus himself. He called it the Arc phone. Yes, Arceus, the god of Pokemon, created an electronic device for you to look at. That's like the thing you bring up in Legends Arceus that brings up your map and all that. It's literally just an archaic-ass phone. Yeah. I don't know. But no, this game's all fucking futuristic as shit. It also would explain why it's bigger. Because Lumiose City was not this big. I know it's technology differences. One's on the 3DS, one's Switch, but still, Lumiose here is way bigger. Not only that, in 3DS they had the ways to get around. They had a Pokemon that you can use, Go-Go. This game's talking about getting rid of that, and they are having taxi services, thus further proving it's in the present, future. And then there was a dude I beat who was like, if I can keep winning, I'm going to abolish all freaking transportation except for taxis. I'm like, you're just gonna fuck everyone else over for your own job? Damn. Treat it. I ended up beating the dude, so I was like, go fuck yourself. You're not getting that. But yeah, apparently transit in this is like much bigger now. They require vehicles. Before it was using Pokemon to get around. Yeah, this game is really fun though. You can climb on, you can like find ladders and get on top of the buildings and shit. I've been doing the Spider-Man thing, just looking around the damn city. That's all I have not focused story in a good few hours. Museum? I have not been to the Lumiose Museum in a while. I wonder how this looks in this.
Fucking dry.
What's this picture? Second floor. Welcome to the museum. The old noble himself painted with a rare... Ew. Ew. What the fuck? Are we bringing real artists into this with a Mew? The hell? Look at... Some dude made an artwork of himself with Mew. What the fuck? They say a man of power at the time forced the artist to add the mythical Pokemon Mew to spread the word of how great he was. Okay, Da Vinci. Force the artist to add mythical... How do you even know what Mew look like? Most people have never seen Mew. Aww. Now that's cool. The painting depicts a knight-errant who continues his travels with the Pokemon Golurk. The painting expresses the knight's identity and his suffering as his primary subjects. It is regarded as an example of romanticism. Among him and the Pokemon? I know Diamond and Pearl mentioned that people used to live side by side with Pokemon. They ate Pokemon, and they, God knows, did horrible things with each other. Yes, canonically, Pokemon and humans lived side by side, ate with each other, fucked each other, bred with each other, yes. A lot of people in this game are most likely Pokemon. There's theories that humans in this world are Pokemon. Because a lot of Pokemon and people lived side by side. Diamond and Pearl has an entire library that talks about this. That's the Kanalabe Library or whatever.
Or why?
Library of Diamond Pearl contains numerous books in Sinnoh's history and mythology, such as the creation of the world, the origin of Lake Guards, a story about a swordsman who mistreated Pokemon. Yeah, they're not going to go into all the details. Key role in the platinum after the player defeats Fire with a massive exploration. Diamond Pearl, the books provide a hint for future event in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Central hub containing books, Sinnoh's place to learn more about the world's history and legends, the common element of the franchise. Yeah. Because that's where by chance I found a story that was out of place.
Push my back.
It's ancient letters were decoded, really do. Pokemon living in the sea to let them see the prince, Mantyke, Buizel, and the Qwilfish. Knowledge of humans' bravery joined them together. Set off on a boat. Meet the brave little party. As far as I know, Seaside House not any they which is strange. Huh. That's weird.
Look at my ass, right?
Because there's a bit about it. Everyone knows about the whole long ago humans and Pokemon used to intermarry deal that was removed in the English localization of Diamond and Pearl Platinum. People say it's not true because we didn't see anything like that except Legends Arceus, and everything's dandy. No Pokephilia here. Everyone seems to forget the line that came after it. Here's the direct translation of the Japanese version. There once were people that married Pokemon. There once were Pokemon that married people. This is straight from Gen 4. There once a normal thing. This was a normal thing long ago. People and Pokemon were the same. Let that sink in. Nintendo made this. Nintendo inserted that people and Pokemon fucked in their own game. They had to change it for our version. So this whole thing took place back when humans and Pokemon were starting to split from a common ancestor. Pokephilia wouldn't have been shown in Legends Arceus because the split had fully occurred by then. Yes, that would make sense. But it's still part of Hisui or Sinnoh's past. It's how recently PL is set. It doesn't help that the game milks the untamed wild. It doesn't. Yeah, but it's still set in the past. Fashion cameras, lighting, low point to late 18. What other region will be doing during this? According to the anime, most regions have already have yearly Pokemon League tournaments established. In Johto, the Brass Tower has recently burnt down. Today, the Academy has been... Well, it's not that far in the past. It's several hundred years, though. Assuming PLA does take place 100 to 150 years before the modern era, it's possible that PCs be close. Yes, close as grandparents steal their modern characters. Yeah. Yeah, it's not that far back. It's only 100 years, but still... Literally, they inserted knowledge about people and Pokemon living together to the point where they bred, and most people are Pokemon. Yeah, it's kind of weird. What the fuck? A city that looks like a hideaway for fairies. A huge tree stands in the center of the Pokemon gym and nestled in series depicting scenarios and inspired overseas artists while they were traveling in Kalos. I don't recognize that at all. Got the courtyard of the Parfum Palace. Statue that celebrates the cooperation between Pokemon and people stands in the courtyard. The work is part of a series depicting scenarios that inspired overseas artists. Oh, okay. Yeah, get Mr. Weird Mew Man. Got map. What even? Fruit Pokemon and the Scarecrow Pokemon character. What is Terserina? I do not know this Pokemon. Why does it just look like her ass? It just looks so weird. Explore the figures of Pokemon so different than humans in order to better understand their anatomy and explore their nature of hearts and mind. What? Okay. Aww. Sharing a moment together centered around Gothita. The main artist is... Yeah, but you're Gen 5. Why? Look, you're also... You're Gen 6. Gothita's Gen 5. You're Gen 6. Diancie. Yeah. portion from 3,000 years ago. Huh. The very character Az is 3,000 years old. Recent research has lent support to the theory that this painting in fact depicts a descendant of a king's younger brother. From this, summarized the royal line maintained a great power through the age. Yes. Lucario. Tower Mastery stands in other shit. Two strange stones were once discovered in this area, which are now thought to have been the first known Mega Keystone. Yep, Mega Lucario. Then I guess Lucario was the first, I guess? Giant Lucario statue stands within the tower. In order to directly view its base, one must climb the second floor of the tower. Within the base of the statue is a room that successors or related person can enter. Oh, hello. There it is. Or a recreation of it. It's just a statue of Lucario. Replica Mega Lucario. Yeah, it's a replica. The original statue was created to commemorate the fact Lucario was the first person to ever Mega Evolve. Well, someone's a big fan of Lucario. I don't remember if X and Y stated that he was the first. I mean, he is. I think, actually, that trainer fight where they teach you Mega Evolution, Lucario was the one that got used. So, actually, I think X and Y did state it without stating it. It's said that only gains their Mega Ring after defeating the successor of Mega Evolution Pokemon atop the Battle of Mastery. What the hell? A giant shining stone that emitted a great warmth is discovered. The Tower Master was built to house and protect the stone. To this day, the successor of Mega Evolution carries the legend of... What the fuck is this floating island on water? I remember that Lucario statue from the tower. I don't know any of this. I mean... Oh, shit. It's a Grand Expedition. Hisui! Sinnoh! The land once known as Hisui reveal how humans and Pokemon came to live in harmony. With the help of various museum and collectors, we bring into the relics and some replicas that we can... From this fascinating place, we hope you'll come away from this exhibit sense of daily life and the customs of Hisui. I thought you guys forgot the time. I thought you guys forgot the name of it. Legendary Pokemon. Yes, see the Sinnoh region. These Pokemon will time and space, even now. Yes, they do. Yeah, you got Arceus, you got fucking Dialga, Palkia, Lake Sprites, Cresselia, Darkrai, Heatran, all of them. Regis. I don't even know what half of these are now. The fuck? Almighty Sinnoh. Statue depicting the spatial Pokemon Palkia worship. Referred to as the Almighty Sinnoh, the creator of the entire world. I was told by a person who wore this outfit donated to the collection. Apparently he gazed a while at those sketches by Professor Laventon. He gazed a while at those sketches. Wait, Laventon did this? He's the professor in Legends Arceus. Huh. Huh. Interesting. Would never have guessed. Laventon with this nostalgic air. Would never have guessed that was done by him. The world suggests the cave was used in ancient times as a rock surface. Possibly skill command Puma UA was ultra pressed with this modern age. Ah, yes, the Temple of Time. An artist's rendition of what the ruins known as the Spear Pillar would like restored. It is said that these ruins once housed 10 statues depicting Pokemon known as lords or ladies. However, the temple was severely damaged due to a battle between legendary Pokemon, with the statues also being destroyed. Records show that the name Spear Pillar was coined by the Survey Corps of the time. Legends again. Oh. We got all of Arceus's fucking Pokeballs on display? People of the time crafted their own Pokeballs using apricorns and the mineral tumblestones. Yeah, so they're made from apricots and tumblestones. Now they're not, apparently. I thought they were still made by apricots, but maybe they're just more mass-produced with metal. Said to have been crafted, each displaying different properties depending on what materials we use. Crafting one's own Pokeballs in the modern age would be a true labor of love given the difficulty. Well, yeah, because it's not made of apricot no more. Hisui region map depicts the area of the settlement of Jubilife, base of a galaxy expedition. To be seen, perhaps indicating the fear of Pokemon has lessened in life. To be seen, perhaps indicating that the fear of Pokemon had lessened and life had stabilized by this time. That's right, yeah, Arceus, everyone was like afraid of Pokemon and they were just trying to get used to knowing them. That's why you were creating the Pokedex, basically. Now that that's happened, I love how this all ties back to Arceus. Remained undamaged even when the wearer rolled over roof during the dodge attacks. Even the uniform remained undamaged even though the wearer played Dark Souls. That's weird. So did my main character just from Arceus get put back in present day and just come here and just be like, here you go, here's my outfit. It could withstand both heat and cold as it withstood Pokemon moves. Remarkably, the weight of ship was believed to never slip off. Not much hell were moved. Interesting. Malra at the general store is believed to have played a certain role in providing supplies to settle the... Several crafts beyond its walls was the beach where settlers came ashore. As more Pokemon were surveyed, the area was developed suited to the population grew. As the Pokemon they befriended also helped with various tests such as farming. Life around Jubilee. Settlement fields were established to grow crops beyond its walls of the beach where settlers came ashore. Yeah, same shit. You got the rest of the balls. Replicas of various balls in use today. Why are we in a museum then? Oh, the redevelopment. It's a three-dimensional map of Lumiose created using Holotech. Good God. You see it from the ground to Draenor. The plant is a part of a series on technology in Kalos, and the plant is a sharp commentary on the hidden passion that lies just beneath everyone's surface. What? The plant gathers sunlight in space in order to generate painting as part of the series on technology in Kalos. The artist succeeded in capturing the sense of self-sufficiency in the region of being isolated but still thriving to help. Okay. What is all this? Okay. Factory makes Pokeballs and ships them. Yeah, the Pokeball factory. Such a useless place in the game. It's really not major at all. I just know that's where the Master Ball is, I believe. Paint is part of the series on technology. For increasing number of Pokeballs and prices the artist desired. Weird how each region has a thing to make Pokeballs and they just don't ship them from one country to another. Even Kanto has a mass production of balls. The fucking chairman made the Master Ball. Kimono, recreation of the worn by the Kamado, first commander of the Egg Elite. The kimono uses many different types of thread and is ornately decorated, showing that much effort was put into the creation. Kimono was quite costly. Quiet silver was given to him as a gift. The pattern provides evidence that Golduck could be found at the time the cloth was embroidered. Golduck? What does that have to do with Golduck? Golduck's not gold. I know we're talking about, like, gold as in, like, psychic. Hence why he uses psychic attacks. But he's not psychic. It's not gold as in, like, the metal. Could be found at the time the cloth was embroidered. Okay.
Hey, Lil B, I just got a doctor's note, and this patient is totally incapacitated at this point, must be off work. These restrictions are in effect until further notice. This patient is unable to fulfill the demands of his job at any capacity, as he is totally incapacitated. So pretty much, I'm out of work until further notice.
That sucks.
Well, I'm still getting paid for it, but I think I only get 80%.
It still sucks. That's boring as hell to be off.
Yeah, everybody's like, "Oh, it'll be great. You get to be home and."
Not a.
What? I can't do shit.
Even for me, after a while, I just like get tired. Like as much as I would like to just game all day, like even that is exhausting after a while.
That's why I'll be going for walks and shit. I'll be keeping myself.
Yeah. Like either way, we still need work to keep ourselves from going insane. Even I can't play games and do not. Like, I have no job inspiration. I have no life inspiration to go out and get a career or anything. Because I don't... Well, whatever. I never did. I never really knew what I wanted to do besides art. And even then, I was never really great at the drawing aspect. So it's just... It's just interesting. It's really interesting. But Well, oh well. Hopefully you'll get better job.
And whenever I get better, I'll be back to work.
Hopefully you'll get a better
Until
job.
then, I'm on disability leave.
Oh.
That's what I said. It's gonna. It sucks. Things they say bye to you in person.
Yeah, it's fine. I wasn't planning on taking my time off.
Hey, at least you get some sleep.
Not tonight, I didn't, but yeah, at least in general.
Oh, that's right. You've been up for 24 hours. Holy shit.
Just about. And it's not the first time. My longest is
Oh, I was up for 24 hours. That one time with Isaac when I was not feeling all that great. I looked like shit. I felt like shit.
I mean,
and he just kept adding on to it. I was about to flip out on him and come out of it.
yeah, most of my bitching came from my sleep deprivation. The amount of times I've driven into work, dead.
Oh man, I seen you get out of the car and you look like you just woke up from the dead.
Yeah, and the first 2 hours of work is me just literally standing in place, zoning until work picks up. And once work picks up and I'm lifting things that are actually decently sized and I'm active, then I wake up and then I go home and I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed when I get home. I talk about that all the time, every time. I'm gonna go home, get some sleep, and then I get home and I fucking stream. And then I'm up another night. Like, I don't know where I get that energy out of nowhere from, because I always do that. Oh, I'm so tired, I'm just gonna go home and sleep, and then I never do. And then it's like, I want to go home, I'll always like, oh, I get this mood to be like, I want to go home and play this, I can't wait, and then I get home, and then I just, like, focus on Twitch and things, and highlight, or whatever things, and I never get around to doing the thing that I want to do. And
Doing something else.
And then I end up staying up another night, or I end up streaming something else and not streaming something that I wanted to stream, or in the mood for. There's times where I'm in the mood for something, and I get home and I just don't do it because of mom wants me to do something, or I just don't want to stream, or I whatever, and I lay down for like till 6 usually, and then I pass out sometimes. Yeah, there's a lot of times I'll be at work and I'll be like, oh, I want to go home and play this, or I'm going to go to bed because I was up all night, and then I'm up another night, and then I'm just like, oh, I'm doing the same thing at the next day. I'm just like, I'm going to go to bed, and then I'm up again. Sometimes I've done that.
Yeah, I do that. That's why sometimes on like work nights and shit, I don't play games because then I lose track of time, and then before you know it, oh shit, it's 6 a.m. I gotta go to work in 30 minutes.
Yeah, I've never had good sleep schedule, though. I've always gotten up early and stayed up late, and then waked up on time for school. So I'm always up at that usual 6, 7, 8-ish range. And my other jobs with Chick-fil-A, I actually worked at 8 instead of 7.
Hey, Chick-fil-A, did they give you any of the meals for free, or did you have to pay
No,
for a discount?
it was a discount. Yes, I still had to pay a typical sandwich, a drink, and 1 or 2 sandwiches, a drink, and maybe some strips would still be like $5 or $6, something stupid. Yeah, you would get like not probably close to half off, if not that. No, yeah, no, you'd still have to pay, sadly. And it would end up being like, it would be like $6, $7 for whatever I was buying, or maybe a little less than that, but that daily for lunch. Chick-fil-A sandwich or 2 with strips, or maybe something, nuggets or something.
Yo, don't get the Taco Bell nuggets. It's nasty.
Mm.
It tastes like
KFC nuggets are better.
Huh?
KFC nuggets are better.
Chick-fil-A? I didn't even know KFC had nuggets.
Oh, Taco Bell. They
Oh,
took-
Taco Bell. Oh.
Yeah, they took the flour tortilla and then they, chopped it up into like crumbs and then used that for the coating for the chicken nuggets.
Ugh.
It tastes like tortilla. It tastes like shit.
Sounds like it.
Oh, hey Mercer, since you eat at KFC, do you eat at Arby's as well? Because I saw that Arby's has new steak nuggets, and
No.
they are.
I haven't had Arby's in a while.
Oh man, yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, it's definitely been a while.
Well, yeah, the only one I know is the one that's up the town from us, Lil D. That's it. I don't think there's one near you, and the one closest to me is the one town that's in between us.
Yeah, I mean, I just haven't had Arby's. We used to have an Arby's back home. I just haven't. I used to get their curly fries and beef sandwiches all the time, or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I got tired of it. Not that it's not good or anything. I love their curly fries. Same with Wendy's. I used to love Wendy's too. I used to love Wendy's too. Their nuggets and their Frosty, one of my favorite combinations.
Oh, yeah, you won't like their Frosty because they changed something. Their Frosty isn't the same. They changed some kind of recipe.
I haven't had Wendy's in forever, so I really don't care. Wendy's is just garbage food because it's not filling. It's way too small.
Better than McDonald's, because McDonald's, every time I eat that, I feel like...
Then don't eat restaurant food in Illinois because McDonald's, Burger King, that's all they are, and they are the literal worst. I guarantee you PA's versions of those restaurants are far, far better.
Yeah, we get some good, restaurants here.
I'm just saying, comparing if we... The McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell in Illinois, I've ate them so much, and I ate them out here, that they just don't taste as good. They make them better out here for some reason. Because, like, I don't really like a lot of those restaurants no more. KFC, all of that. I just can't eat that shit no more, really.
Yeah, and the Chinese buffet that's closest to us all the way for Philly.
Damn. Ugh.
Yeah, we used to have one in the town between us, but that one, the owner of there, the woman, she closed it up and she went back to China with her husband.
Hmm. I see. Wild Kakuna just chilling.
Hey, Royal's Farm is really picking up. The only difference between them and Wawa is that well, Wawa has better food and cheaper gas, but Royal Farm sells alcohol. That's the only thing that's going for Royal's Farm is alcohol.
Let's see.
And they want to add another roundabout somewhere around us.
Nice.
I don't know where exactly.
I don't know why people are questioning whether or not Pokemon find some of the different Pokeballs comfortable. They've established that Pokeballs have a entire ecosystem that a Pokemon lives in that matches their fucking living. Pokemon don't just sleep in a cramped ball. No, the Pokeball inside has like its own ecosystem somehow. Yes, they've described it in the comic or manga, because Pokemon has a manga based off the show, The Electric Tales of Pikachu, and they have one based off the games, the Adventures manga. And then, I think it's I forget which one, but they have a scene where they talk about what's going on in the insides of a Pokeball when the Pokemon are in it. They aren't just stuck in a small space. No, they actually have an entire living ecosystem that matches their living lifestyle. So like water Pokemon will have water, fire will have something to do with heat.
Pokemon already knows the type of Pokemon and then makes its own universe inside
Yes.
Pokeball just
For them, yeah, correct. Yep.
like a gene in a bottle type of thing.
Kinda, yes. And then they also teach you that Pokemon have the ability, this is in-game too, that Pokemon have the ability to shrink. Hence, when you throw them out to battle, they like go from small to big. They have this weird ability to shrink. It's mentioned in Arceus. Really weird concept. Yeah, it's a really weird concept. I don't know how they did that with a ball. that has somehow has technology. The ball itself, even if it's made of apricots back then, it still is using metal clasp, but it still has technological advancements to the point where it can fucking create its own ecosystem. So there's technology involved. I don't know how. But
Oh, good news. Since the last time I saw a doctor, I lost 5 pounds. No, 10 pounds.
oh, as long as that's good for your health. I don't know anything about how your health's state. I know you're a bigger guy. Same with Irving. I just don't know if your health is in good state or not. I know Tiffany.
Actually, it is. I have my blood pressure checked, and my blood pressure is perfect. Everything.
I know.
I just gotta lose weight.
I know Tiffany says that she can't be on her feet for prolonged periods, and she tires out very, very easily. Because, well, for one, she's a big girl who is short, though. You're a bit bigger than her in terms of your height. She is 5 foot. Tiffany is 5 feet and weighs about 300 pounds, give or take. A little, something like that. She's overweight. She's a big girl, but, like, yeah, and that's probably, it's because of her size. If she was about the size of Mercer or me, her weight would not be as big of a problem. It's because Tiffany is supposed to be my weight, give or take. For her size, that's what she said. She wants to drop down to about my weight, which is 120-ish. Because that's geared
Okay,
towards...
if I was 120, I'd be like skin and bones, and they would call the hospital on me and tell me, feed that motherfucker.
What do you think I am? What do you think people try to do to me? I'm thin and bone and always have been. I'm thin and bone and always have been.
Normal for someone my size. If I was 120, I don't know if I'd be able to survive. I'd probably die from malnutrition.
Oh no, I'm underweight. Oh no, for my weight and height, I am underweight. I am under
By how
120.
much?
I'm under 100 pounds. I'm under 120 pounds.
Hey, Dragon.
Yes.
How tall are you?
6 foot.
He's around my...
Motherfucker, you're the same size as me!
He's not that tall.
Yeah.
He's not the tallest guy, no. None of us are.
The
He,
redhead's tall.
yeah, no. Yeah, Dragon's not that much taller than me. The problem is Tiffany's just 5 foot. She's just tiny.
She's fun size.
Yes, she's tiny, very tiny, and I love my short women. The only problem is I preferred Tiffany to be bigger, just because I like something to cuddle with. I don't mind if she was my size or anything. I just prefer the weight to hold and cuddle and warm, and it's just more fun for me. But as long as her health is okay, I just want her to be okay. Because I'm underweight for my size, while she's overweight for her size. I think she'd be fine if she was Mercer's height, or your height, or whatever. Because my dad is my height, or a little shorter, but also was a beer belly. So he was a big guy. My dad was a big guy.
I'm Matt height.
Mm-hmm. Because then there's Matt, who's probably 140, 130, 150, somewhere around that range. Maybe 200? Maybe closer to 200? But he is tall.
Yeah.
He's tall.
Oh, yeah,
but
Brett.
Huh?
Have you ever played The Evil Within?
I've not. I've seen it, though.
I'm playing the first game right now.
I've watched a bit of it. How are you? Is it a first playthrough?
I watched Mark play it.
First playthrough for you or no?
Another attempted playthrough. I've never finished it.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I've never played it.
Because I got to... Probably don't know about it, but that, boss lady that comes out of corpses, she was giving me a hard time.
Ah, okay.
And I, my typical fashion, I fucking rage quit.
Happy
Instead
ending.
of...
Yeah.
Wedding.
This game's fucking difficult at certain stages.
Oh, they turned a cemetery into one of the fucking zones? Oh, you are evil. 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 They turned a cemetery into one of the limiting inhabit zones. Oh, that's not fucking good. That's like having a dog fight in a cemetery in the real world. No, that's horrible. Cemetery turning into a wild zone. Why would I have never lost my ring if it wasn't for this nonsense? Oh man, it was a Pokemon called Sableye. Oh, no wonder. The fucker's a gem thief. fairy, if recall, a particular species is only weak to fairy. I guess because he's Ghost Dark. Ghost Dark at the time had no weakness, aka Spiritomb. Now they do because fairy.
Fairy time.
As I call that particular species weak to only fairy, so mind yourself if you run into it. Yeah, well, Sableye is not the only one now. Spiritomb himself also had no weakness at the time, which is one of the Pokemon that made Cynthia brutal. Not only was it Garchomp, but that too. Yeah, Spiritomb is a pretty interesting design. Dark Ghost, yeah, for a while, Dark Ghost had no weakness because it blocked Psychic. Dark did not. Psychic is immune, or Dark is immune to Psychic, which is what Ghost is strong against. And Dark also beats Psychic, therefore and then whatever other weaknesses like fighting is mitigated. Yeah.
What if all the idea? Hey, let's have Pokemon just fight a ghost. That's gonna work.
Yeah. Good. Good.
It
Why?
shouldn't work though. How
What?
can you bite a ghost?
Well, because bites changed. It's not a normal. It's not a normal attack. It's got an element behind it now that can allow you to hurt them, which is Dark. I don't know. Normally, bite, crunch, and all that was normal. They changed that. They changed a lot of those moves. As long as it's not normal, it can hit them. Yeah, I know it's weird. Physical attacks can hit a ghost. That's why I don't treat the ghost Pokemon like an actual ghost, unless outright
And then
stated.
no effect on flying Pokemon. We just say no effect. Same thing. If you have electric Pokemon, they use an electric attack on the rock type. It should say no effect.
Well, that's ground. Electric still hits rock. Ground is immune. Yeah, no, it's. I know it's stupid. Ground and rock should be the same thing, but no, electricity can still hit ground or rock types. The reason why immunities like Geodude in their line is because they're ground. Rhydon, for instance, in the anime should not have been hurt by electric attacks. Hit Rhyhorn in the horn. No. Rhyhorn literally has an ability called Lightning Rod, which in the modern games mitigates electricity.
Yeah, he probably puts his tail or his feet into the ground and uses the
Yeah.
horn to take the electric.
Well, not in the anime, he didn't. That horn is what got Rhydon beat by Ash's Pikachu. Yes. No, that should not have happened.
And
Well-
then with the Onyx,
Onyx was beat by a sprinkler.
Yeah.
Pikachu would not have hurt Onyx whatsoever. For one, Pikachu had a power boost because Brock's father trained Pikachu with the with the water wheel scene, where they basically make Pikachu kind of like an electrical box, where he powered up this water wheel, and that was how he trained Pikachu, and he got him a little stronger. Well, yeah, that's what he did, because when he first lost to Brock, he went to Brock's father, and he trained Ash's Pikachu a little bit using like a water wheel, kinetic electricity, basically. And then eventually after that, he just accidentally hit the sprinkler. And why Brock's gym has a sprinkler, I don't know. I mean, it's to keep it clean. But you're running a rock ground gym, dude. A rock gym, predominantly, not ground.
there's no fire.
Predominantly, yeah, I know. But his gym is rock. I understand the presence. It's to keep it clean and to prevent fire. However, you need to expect that your Pokemon are gonna fucking die. Because Pokemon can die.
Oh, what that sticks a Sandshrew into the water?
AJ, you mean? The guy that fucking beat 100 people and Ash was his 100th win? AJ? Yeah, that's because that's because he has there's a item in the later games called the Macho Brace or whatever. A lot of people like to theorize that he was training to learn how to adapt to water through effort, and he was put in that. There were scenes where Ash was complaining that AJ was making his Pokemon train